Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera from NBC Trading Academy with today's pre-market forecast for Wednesday, July 31st, last day of July. Important day today in reference to news. We do have FOMC statement, federal fund rates announcement, and a press conference at 2:30. Add to that the fact that we have Chicago PMI at 8 at 9:45 makes for a bit of a complicated day in reference to news. So be very careful out there. Normally, I don't trade these days. As I mentioned earlier in the week, the expectation in Wall Street is that the interest rates are going to be reduced by 25 basis points. We'll see what happens with that. Looks like the market is poised for up movement. I think that's the way the market is interpreting it. The fact that it's expecting it to go higher. We'll see what happens. But the market has continued to go higher. It's coming off the all-time highs, retraced, found support at the 20, which is this trend line that we have been keeping here. Same continuation of these bull flags to the upside. Market continues to use that pattern. No difference here. 2 bars broke right through. Volume has been low, relatively low. We have been averaging less than 900,000 at about 843. Our ATR is still remaining strong, which means we have a little movement, not very much movement and not very quick movement, but we do have some movement. So keep your eyes open for today. Today's one of those days that the market can continually, that can early in the morning can move a lot. Basically, people establishing positions, anticipating which way the news is going to go. Or it may be just a flat line where people are just not really sure and they're just waiting for the news to come, and then the market will engage after that. So from our perspective, this is one of those days that you want to sit out, simply because the market is a little bit more complicated in these types of days, particularly low volume, and then you add this complication with the news. So just food for thought there. Let's look at our projection chart here. Basically, the market's been moving between these two spaces here, these two areas here, the all-time highs, and this established support area here. So this is where the market has been oscillating. As you can see, we established this area, and pretty much that's where the market has been moving through the last several days, and we don't expect anything jarring to happen. Unless, of course, the interest rates are cut and the market believes that's good news, then we can expect maybe a run to this area here and potentially break. Otherwise, we're going to come down here and retrace and probably just oscillate there for a while. So we don't really know. Thing is, you need to have a plan regardless of which way the market goes, and that's when we start putting our analysis together. As we look at our analysis chart, you can see that the market right now in the pre-market is kind of bouncing between the yesterday's intraday high. It established a low earlier in the morning and it's marched to the upside. As you can see, we have these two tight trend lines here where it's compressing the market. And I think that's typical of what's going to be happening today because of the news. Now, the market can bounce between here for a while. It can eventually break this way. It can break that. We can do anything that it wants. But I think that right now it's looking for that piece of news to finally settle it so I can start moving more convincingly to one way or the other. Again, relative to summer volume, we are in the middle of, towards the end of July, beginning August. That's where we look at right now. For me personally, if I'm looking for anything, I'm looking for these extremes. I'm looking to sell that angle, buy this angle, and eventually, or depending on how much room I have, just wait for the breakouts. And then just begin the trends. Of course, if we run, break over here, what are we expecting? Run to the all-time highs. If we break here, what are we expecting? A run to the intraday low. That's simple. We could see and confirm that in our trade chart. As we look at it carefully, there's our compression. There is our intraday low. There's our all-time high. So if you see, this is not a very friendly area in here. This looks kind of messy in here, kind of choppy, kind of everything's running over. So these are the type of markets that we just look for extreme areas of support and resistance to either buy, sell from them, or wait for the clear breakout. So be careful today and have a great trading session. Ciao.